The third day of a test match is often considered a moving day because things progress quickly on this day, and they did in Manchester, but all for England, as all of it panned out like Stuart Broad rattles the West Indies. England's openers pile on as Rory Burns goes big. It was a morning of immense importance for the West Indies. They had a follow-on looming large and they had to chip away at England's lead. Shane Dowrich and Jason Holder, two of their most prominent batsmen, were out there and they did seem like doing their job really well in the first hour or so. Both of them strung together a crucial partnership, kept any trouble at bay, all while scoring runs. But all this morning, one thing was missing from England. They had not introduced Anderson and Broad, and the moment they introduced Broad, things started changing because he was rearing in. He came in, swung one into Jason Holder, wrapped him on the pads, Holder out LBW. Cornwall came in and started playing a few shots. He played them really well, but Broad was not done. He was breathing fire. He ran in again, wrapped Cornwall on the pads. Cornwall was given out on field. The call on DRS stayed out. Broad had 4. But Broad needed more. He ran in this time to get Kemar Roach and get his fifer. By the time the innings ended, he had 6 wickets to his name. England had 172 runs worth of lead in their kitty. Stuart Broad proving a point after being dropped from the first test where he said he was angry and that he felt that he could have played that test match. He's come back and picked a truckloads of wicket to prove a point, and how. With a lead of 172, Rory Burns and Dom Sibley added 10 more to go to lunch unscathed with a lead of 182. On the other side of lunch, it was the same old story. Both of them kept piling on runs on the West Indies as troubles started brewing for the West Indies. They had injury issues. A bouncer from Shannon Gabriel hit Shane Dowrich on the mouth. He had to leave the field with a substitute wicketkeeper coming in. At one point, the fatigue and injury issues were so bad that the West Indies had 4 substitutes on the field. But none of that perturbed Burns or Sibley, both of them scoring their individual 50s. The first time that has happened in a very long time for an English opening partnership. And by the time Holder came in and finally got Sibley out LBW, the two had strung together a 114 run stand. Root came in at number 3 and started accelerating the score. And by the time England finally declared with a lead of 398 runs on the board, Root had scored his half-century, while Rory Burns missed out on a well-deserved century. West Indies' start with the bat in the second innings was troublesome as well, and that one man was causing them all the trouble. Stuart Broad ran in, got John Campbell, wicket number 498 for Broad, but he wasn't done for the day. Kemar Roach, the night watchman, edged one to Butler off Broad, wicket number 499 for Broad, and at various moments by the time the stumps came, it seemed like Broad could have had its 500th wicket on this day. So England are sitting atop a mountain of runs from where victory seems plausible and within touching distance. But with rain forecasted for all of day 4, will it come down to a final day showdown between the West Indies and England? And can the West Indies grit it out? They just need a draw to retain the trophy. You'll get all the updates and answers right here in our match story.